just name a class. Okay? We're good with that? You guys get Word? So open up Word, create a new document, and we're going to go through just some of the layout first of Microsoft Word. First thing you want to do is you want to save your document. So at the top you'll see it says document 1. Word always just defaults to that like save file. So it's going to give you the document 1 file, but we want to change that. And it saves it under your documents. So to do that, the very first time, you can just hit the save button. It's this little guy right here. Or if you do a Control-S, it'll open up the file save option. You hit the save button, and it's going to actually go to, it goes to this file too. If I click on file there, it does the same thing. So there you've got your save and your save as. It's going to take you to save as by default. And then guess where we're going to save it? All the stuff we made, right? So our name drive, and it's all the folders that we made. So go to Browse. This is the hardest one to find. You go to Browse. And that's going to open up your dialog box. Now from here, you can navigate to your name drive. So you're going to go to your 900 name drive. It should be on the left. If it's not, then click on this PC. And then you can scroll down to find your 900 number. Okay, so you're going to go in there, and so then your 900 number, then what you're going to do, you're going to go into your year, business office, and this time you're going to go 2.0. So you're going to go 2.0 word processing, I think, and that's where we're going to save everything. And then we're going to name it too, so don't go too far yet. Now, if you didn't do those folders, if you haven't done that folder assignment, just save it just in the 900 number. Okay, and then later on, when you've got the folders in there, you can drag and drop it in there. Now we're going to name this 2.1 class demo. Because we're doing 2.1. I'm just going to show this in my downloads for ease for myself. So 2.1 class demo. You can set that in. Now if you notice up on the top, it says 2.1 class demo. And once you save it the first time, now if I ever go up and hit that save button again, it just saves right over the top of it. It's only the first time that it lets you change the location and stuff. If you want to change the location, then you would go to File and then Save As, and then you could change the location that it would give you to a copy of each other. That makes sense, kind of sort of. So it's going to tell you, that's one of the first things all the instructions are going to tell you. Save this as, today it's going to be 2.1, and then your last name, and you're going to put it inside that folder. So that you can stay organized, you know where everything's at, you can get it turned in okay. Okay, we go with that so far? Sweet. Okay, let's go to Canvas real quick. So just, you can minimize this out or just drag it out of the way for just a second. We got to go and find some text that we're going to copy over. So if you go to the instructions, so go to 2.1 Word Basic Poems, and you'll see there's going to be some text. It says class demo start file. Copy and paste this text. That's what we're going to use inside of Word. So if you just click on that, and then we're going to copy and paste this over. So just highlight that, and then you can copy and paste it. Remember our shortcut keys, Control-C and Control-V. Nice. Did everybody find the text file okay? You all right with that? Okay, this part's kind of cool. When you paste, did everybody paste it okay? This is on here, right? So this part's cool. When you first put it in, you can kind of see it matches the text that we had in Canvas, but it also gives you this little control thing. We're going to change the look of that a little bit. If you hit this control thing down, you get what they call paste options. And they give you 3 different options. One's the original, the little paintbrush guy's the original. The next one over is to merge formatting. So if you happen to have some formatting inside a Word, it would try to match that. And then the next one is keep text. It's going to look very similar to those last two because we haven't done any formatting yet. So I'm just going to hit keep text, and that's going to give us in a Microsoft Word format. Now, what's powerful about that is, have you ever copied something from your teacher's, like, you got to have 5 news articles from the internet, and you copy and paste stuff over, and you get all that junk in it. You know, it has like all the formatting. Some of you did it on the AUP thing we did, and you're getting like a blue background with colored text. This would get rid of that. So you could click on just keep text only, and it gets rid of all the pictures, it gets rid of all the junk inside of that. It works in Google Docs too. Google Docs doesn't give you this thing. If you just add the Shift key when you paste, so like if I do a Control V, if you do a Control Shift V, it does the same thing, gets rid of all the junk that you've got in there, and you'll use that quite often if you remember it. Okay, good with that so far? Okay, we're going to do this ribbon along the top. Well, first you have tabs. So see, we've got the File tab, Home, Insert, Design, Layout, Reference. Those are all different tabs. When you click on a tab, it's going to give you what they call a ribbon. This is the ribbon that goes all the way across. And inside the ribbon, there are groups. So there's a clipboard group, a font group, a paragraph group, styles, and editing. And these are just kind of the shortcut keys, like the most used in that group. And there's you can even go deeper than that. We'll show you how to get deeper in just a second. The first one you'll notice is the clipboard, and you're going to be very familiar with this because you guys copy and paste a ton already. So when you, there's like the cut, copy, and paste. So nothing's highlighted now, but if I double click on a word, you'll see that stuff. You'll see that highlight. So now I've got my cut, copy, and paste there. And if I hit the arrow down on the paste, there's those paste options again. And so what's the shortcut key for a copy? This is a dumb question. Control C, paste. And what is cut? What cut is? What's the shortcut key for cut? Oh, I heard Control X. Nice. Control X. Yep. And when you do Control X, it actually takes it off. So like if I did this paragraph and Control X'd it, it would go away, but it puts it on your clipboard. So then you can go down somewhere else and paste it in somewhere else. So it's kind of like a move option is what it ends up doing. Now, while we're on this too, I'll show you just a little shortcut. Go out and just click on inside your paragraph one time. A single click puts your cursor where you want it, right? Do a double click. What does a double click do? It picks a word for a double click. Do a triple click. What does a triple click do? Cool, right? It does the whole paragraph. So it'll select the whole paragraph. So that's a nice move. And that'll work anywhere. That'll work in Chrome. It works anywhere that you're working. Yes, yeah, great. It's a great suggestion. You're saying you can hold Shift, and I can come down and do another paragraph too, and it gets all of it. Is that what you're talking? What if you can do Control? Let's try Control. Yeah, if you do Control, you can do alternate paragraphs too. Yeah, and then you can copy just those or whatever you wanted to. Yeah, cool. So let's triple click that first paragraph, and we're going to move it. We're going to move it down in between these next two paragraphs. Okay. Okay, so we're going to triple click on that. Now with it selected, now we're going to click and hold and drag. So we're going to click and hold, and then we're going to drag. And you're going to see your cursor start to move. We'll put that cursor right in front of the T in the, and then let go. What that did is that move. So you can drag and drop your text anywhere you want to go. We could have copied and pasted, cut it and pasted that too, but a triple click. And you can do that with words, you can do it with sentences, whatever you want to do on that. Okay? Cool. Okay, let's make a title. So let's go in front of the T in this western state and hit your Enter key. And let's make a title on top of that called Utah Facts. Okay, now we're going to do the font group here. You're going to see the fonts. There's all kinds of cool stuff that you can do with your fonts. So let's highlight that Utah Facts. And the first one is the font. You guys know a lot about these things already. Go ahead and change your font. Just go pick something different and change your font. Don't get too picky, just pick something a little thicker for a title. Okay, now we're going to go to the next one over says number 11. That's just font sizes too, but I'm going to show you a different one. You can select font sizes there. You can even type in whatever font size you want. But we're going to go to see that big capital A with an arrow up, and then there's a capital A with the arrow down. Click on those two. That first one If I click it a bunch of times, it increases my font size. And if I do the next one, it decreases the font size, which is kind of cool. That was really quick. Okay, we good with that? And then the next one over, you're going to use this one. So remember this one. There's a capital A with a little a. That's called change case. We're going to hit that arrow down. And you're going to see there's like sentence case, there's lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word. Like if we're doing a title, let's do all uppercase. So that'll put it all in that uppercase look. Do it. And you would use that in reports or titles or things like that. Sometimes it's nice if you copy and paste something in and it's all capitalized and you need to like not have it capitalized. You can go up there and there's like a sentence case and you can take it so it's not capitalized if it's all in one sentence case, which is nice. Okay. The next one over is the clear format. That little it gets rid of all the junk that you put on, all the pretty stuff that you did to it. It's kind of like the paste thing when we did the text only or the get rid of the formatting. So you'll use that. That's actually a brand new option. Then you've got the bold, italics, underline. This is new too. Next to the word under the underlined one, if you click that down, you'll see all different options for underlines. It used to be just one black line, but now you can color it. You can make it dotted or whatever you want it to do. You've got a strike through next to that. That's going to be like it's lines through your words. So like if you wanted somebody to see that you crossed it out, but you want to have them see what you did actually, we'll do that. You've got a subscript and a superscript. So that's like math. It's going to go like smaller or higher, and that's a toggle switch, so you can turn it on and off. Then you've got the text effects and typography. That's kind of cool. We'll do that in a second. And then last is the highlighter and the font color. So if you want to change the color of your font. Yeah, just don't let that one here. Axel, this one's for you, but you gotta wait. Sorry. We know what it's for now, so it's not a big deal. It is a big deal, but just not. Okay. So we've got the so highlight Utah facts, and let's do something with your text effects. Go over and pick something with your text effects. It doesn't matter which one. What color do you think of when you think of Utah? What color comes to mind? Browns, oranges. Yeah.
Browns.
Yeah, we all kind of go to the southern Utah. Maybe it's because of our license plates or something. Or the Jazz. Remember the Jazz uniforms they used to represent? Yeah, just many mountains and snow. Okay, anyways, pick a color. Just to see how that works. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Play with this first paragraph. We're about half done. Let's play with this. Highlight that first paragraph, and let's make some changes to it. So I want you to change the fonts, and then either bold and italics, and then color. Just make some changes to it. Doesn't really matter what. So I'm going to change the fonts. I'm going to change the color. And I'm going to bold it. Okay, now we're going to go kind of back to that clipboard one. See that little paintbrush guy? That's called the format painter. So you got your copy, cut and paste, there's a little paintbrush guy. This is really cool. So double click on that paintbrush. When you double click on it, that's going to turn it on permanently. And then go down to let's go down to Infamous Outlaw Butch Cassidy. And click on Butch. Whatever you click on, it's going to give you, and you can highlight things, whatever you click on, it's going to give you the same formatting as whatever you had before. So this is really good for titles. Let's say you did a whole bunch of titles on a report or even on a newsletter and you change one, you want to go change the others, you could copy your formatting and then go paste it on all of the others. So you can even do a triple click too. That always turns out it works for you guys. Or you can highlight it and it'll do the same thing. Okay. Now you have to remember to go turn this off. So I go turn it off, or else everything you touch is gonna change on you. If I only do a single click, then it only gets one paste on it. So I would highlight it and do a single click, and do a single click, and then it only lets me click on one word, and then it turns off. So that's the difference between a single click and a double click on that. You'll be surprised at how often you use that. Okay, so that's called the Format Painter. Now let's go to the paragraph group up here. We're only going to do 4 of them on the bottom left right now. You guys actually read these 5 on the bottom. You guys know what these are, most of them are already. So the first one's the left justify, right? So that first paragraph is left justify. That means it's aligned on the left. The second paragraph, let's do the next one over. What's the next one over? Center, right? Yep, so let's center that one. And then let's do the third one, Rocky Mountain Elk. Let's right justify that. What's that going to do? That aligns it on the right-hand side. You're going to do the rights justify today in your project. So that's on the right-hand side. And then let's do the top spot, because that's a big paragraph. The very bottom one, let's fold justify that. So that means it's going to line them up on both sides. So now you can see there's a straight line on both ends. That's good for like newsletters when you're making columns to make it look nice and pretty. Or like a newspaper or something like that to make it look good. Okay, we're going to keep going. So highlight now. We're doing okay? Am I going too fast? I get moving and I just plow through information, so please slow me down if we're going too quick. Highlight all your text. And we're going to do the next one over. Now the next one over is line spacing. So if you hit your arrow down there, it's line and paragraph spacing. So right now this is 1.5, so you kind of see the spacing in between it. But if you mouse over, like there's single spacing, 1.15, and that's kind of the default, that 1.15, makes it easy to read. You got 1.5 all the way up to 3 line spacings in between it. Okay, we're going to leave that at 1.15 for now. However, go back into that, and you're going to see when it says add space before paragraph and remove space before paragraph. So remove space, you'll notice, let me show you. So out on look at my paragraphs, you've got a bigger space in between your paragraphs. So what it does, it has your normal paragraph and then it adds a little bit underneath that paragraph. It's just to spread that out a bit. So that's not a hard return. It's not like you hit enter twice to get between them. It automatically does that in between the paragraphs. So there's one there, and it's going to have you take that off today. So we're going to do that. So we're going to do remove space from paragraph, and that's going to get rid of it. Now, if I go back and do that again, you're going to see it's not there. It's not going to say remove, it's just going to say add, because there isn't any to remove. But I could add it if I wanted to add space on those. Okay. Now, earlier I said that these are just kind of the basics, right? So I want to show you how to keep all that select. I'm going to show you how to get in. Actually, no, let's highlight that first paragraph first before we do this. Highlight that first paragraph. And then next to the word paragraph, you'll see a little drop-down arrow. See that little drop-down guide to the right of the paragraph? That gives you, it opens up a whole other dialog box that has more options in it. So if I click on that, you're going to see there's all kinds of options in there. So it has my indentation, it has my spacing. So you know that before and after paragraph? That's there. So you have 0 points because we don't have any spacing after it. Then there's line spacing, we're at 1.15. You can change those. But it gives you more control. You can get more detail on that than what you have on just the shortcut keys. The one we're going to look for is the one that says special. See that one that says special? Hit that arrow down. You're going to see there's one that says first line and hanging. Let's make that first one first line. If I click on first line, you're going to see it indents my first one. It's just like hitting the tab key. You know how you hit the tab key in your first paragraph? But you could highlight all your paragraphs and do first line, and it would do that. Okay, let's hit OK on that. That'll indent that. Let's go to our bottom paragraph. Highlight our bottom paragraph. Go to your paragraph settings one more time, so the little drop-down guy. This time we're going to do special. And we're going to do the other one. We're going to do hanging. So hanging is going to it's going to indent everything but that first line. That first line is going to be hanging over the edge, is what I call that. So there's an indent and then there's a hanging. Hit OK, and it's going to do that. So that one's hanging over the edge. When would you use that? Any thoughts? When would you use a hanging indent? Any ideas at all? Where did I hear it? What's it for? Yeah, you can put a picture. You mean like put a picture there? Yeah, you can put a picture there. Think about like a research paper or an English paper. What do you do at the end of those papers? What do you have to put? Name before that. Like if you're going out and finding like information from the internet and from magazines and from books, what do you put at the end of that paper? You guys written these yet? Oh, I heard it. Yes, a citation. Yeah. You got to do like the works cited page. They call them bibliographies, citations, whatever you want to call them. But you always start with a hanging indent, and then you put all the information out there. It's alphabetized. We're going to get into that too. But Word does all the work for us. Okay, so that's what a hanging indent is for. Okay. All right. Three more things. They're easy ones. Let's highlight that second paragraph. Experts don't agree. That one's centered. Now we can make this pretty if we wanted to by going and doing like our font size and text effects, all that kind of stuff. But if you go to this styles group, see the styles group, it'll say like normal, no spacing, heading 1, heading 2. We're going to put those. If you mouse over them, it'll give you what it's going to look like. So like there's a heading 1, so it's nice and big and blue. The next is a heading 2, it's a little bit smaller. You've got a title that's huge. This also helps us do a table of contents and some other things down the road. Hit that little double arrow guy to the right of that. There's a single arrow that kind of scrolls through them. Hit that double arrow. And then mouse, that just gives you more. So there are different ones that you can get into. Emphasis, intense emphasis. Let's do intense quote. That one's kind of cool. And it italicizes it, turns it blue, centers it, puts some lines on both sides. Just looks nice. So that's the intense quote. And you're going to do that today too. It's going to say, change the style to quote style or to heading 1 style. It'll tell you which styles to use for your project. Okay, that's about all we're going to do on the Home tab today. Then I've got one more thing to show you on the Layout tab. So go to the Layout tab. I wish these were on the Home tab too, but they're not. On the Layout tab, you're going to do 2 things today, the margins and the orientation. Those are the only 2. The orientation is the direction. That's portrait or landscape. So you can go landscape on that. It's going to have you go landscape on it. We're going to do that now. And then you've got margins. So margins are going to be like, there's like a 1/4 inch all the way around, an inch, 1/2 inch. There's the mixed ones. And if you don't see what you want up there, then you can go to custom margins. So let's do custom margins. And you're going to see there's your margins, and that's an inch all the way around. We're going to change those 4. There's also your portrait landscape. You can also, we went to that through the margins, custom. If you hit the page setup dialog box, it takes you to the same place. Okay? So let's do margins at 0.25. Let's do a 1/4 inch all the way around. So if you do 0.25 and tab, 0.25, tab, 0.25, tab, 0.25. Don't worry about the gutters at all. And then just hit OK. You'll see that's going to push everything to a 1/4 inch all the way around for your margins. Okay. And again, that would, you could get to that with that drop-down menu or the margins custom menu too. One last thing, Brett. You guys are starting to glaze on that. We're going to add a link. This gets kind of advanced, so from where we're just starting. Let's take Fish Lake National Forest. Let's highlight that. Highlight Fish Lake National Forest. And we want to put a hyperlink on that, so when they click on it, it takes them to the website, to the Fish Lake website. So we're going to highlight it, and you see when you highlight it, mouse over it, it gives you kind of some shortcut keys there. We're not going to use those. We're going to actually right-click on it. And there's one that says link. So we're going to click on link. And And the text, it's going to show you what it's going to display. It's displaying Fish Lake National Forest. That's because we highlighted it. And then we're going to put the web address down here. And we could copy and paste it from Chrome, but let's just type it in. Let's just do www.fishlake.com. I have no idea if that's even a website. And then hit OK. And you'll see that's going to give you the link. So now I could actually, if I mouse over, it says control click to follow. If I did control click, it would take you to that website. Yeah. Is it not a site? It's in it. That's it. You can also right click on that and edit that hyperlink, open it, remove it, so you can do a bunch of stuff on that too. This one you're going to add the hyperlink. Next project, you're going to remove the hyperlink from that. Okay. How's the world? That's a lot, right? Okay. That was it. So now you're going to tackle your project, and I'll show you how to, I'll just give you some hints real quick on that. So you're going to start a new document. There's your project start file, so you're going to copy and paste it just like we did, and then you're just going to work through it. It's going to give you 3 poems, and it's going to, first it's going to tell you to name it, copy and paste it, save your file as 2.1, your last name, and then it's going to give you 3 poems. You're going to bold all the titles, and then you're going to work your way down. Change the font size of the title to 14 points, apply italics under the title, and then just work your way down the instructions. That makes sense? So it doesn't take you long. It should end up on 3 pages, 1 poem per page. Yeah, it's really not too bad. Okay, remember when you're done, hand in both projects. So hand in your class demo that we did together. So save that. You can do Control S to save it, and then start a new project. So your project file and class demo file.